car designers, airplane designers, motorcycle designers, and sportsmen. Sportsmen are artists. Kareem developed the hook shot, and he's known for that. Magic won champions. Jerry West solidified the image of the NBA. Every one of them had their niches, and you have to try to put them in one frozen time forever. In about an hour, the sun will hit Magic in that direction, and also we'll face straight with Kareem.
This is a good shot. This is a good shot of Kareem.
Are you conscious of that, of where the sun's going to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, always.
My dad came from Israel. My mom came from the suburbs. They met actually in Italy, in Pietrasanta, learning how to carve stone. They both went there with the dream to learn how to carve stone based on Renaissance artist Michelangelo. That area of Italy is where most of those famous artists quarried their stone from. So you got to go where the masters go, right? So they met there, developed a relationship, moved to Israel, got married. That's where I was born. Figured out that moving back to the States was better opportunity for what they wanted to do, and generated this idea, this studio back in 1992, and it kind of all went from there. Back in 1993, there was a competition to do tribute to Michael Jordan.
After we accomplished the Michael Jordan project, and obviously sculpting Magic Johnson in Michigan introduced us to the people in Los Angeles and took it course to what you know now, the sculpture garden around Staples.
And that kind of snowballed into Jerry West, Chick Hearn, and Kareem Abdul Jabbar.
Inside playing the post is Kareem against Rasmussen. The ball goes into Kareem. Swing left, shoot right, 8-footer good. To Kareem Abdul Jabbar. Down the middle, a hook shot is 6. Straight away is good. Makes it in there. He's got a hook, an 8-footer on the way. Good.
You know, knowing the figure is the first thing. How the figure moves, the anatomy of the figure. Because once you know that, you can manipulate it in any way, shape, or form. Is really how you can get to capturing the fourth dimension. You know, the time, in essence, in the figure, in the standstill piece.
To find the figure in sports, you've got this dynamic motion happening, and so you get this extremes expression in facial features and body, so there's a lot of body language going on as well. And you talk about movement and physics and, you know, the whole gamut.
I think the biggest thing was we were trying to figure out, you know, how to set Kareem in motion kind of thing, how to capture that moment, you know, that sky hook that he's so known for.
He was just pretty clear about what he was looking for too, so there was more dialogue with him than with other sculptures.
So wonderful person like Kareem, who literally broke through the wall of society and create this image of himself, and that's what we tried to convey in the sculpture.
In our studio, we had a setup where the figure in clay was above a wood base to replicate the granite base, which is now outside of the Staples Center. And we just talked about, let's just bust through the base, you know, go through it.
If you look from certain angles, you would see how basically this energy is coming from somewhere and punching through the granite. So the hook shot starts actually from the ground and goes all the way up. And that's why you have the repetition of images like the shoes and energy that creating the effects of repetitive energy motion.
I think he was picky with his face, you know, he wanted to look a certain way with his chin and, you know, the glasses that he wore, because originally I wasn't going to put glasses on, but then they wanted the goggles. And so there was, yeah, was a lot of back and forth.
The portraiture, you know, probably is almost the hardest part because, you know, the figure is a figure, you know. You might not see any small little defects if there are, but with the face, you know, Kareem's face, you know Magic's face. And so that's, you know, that's the hardest part, but I think we thrive on that kind of stuff.
I used to sit at night and make big drawings. Now it's a computer era, so with one finger, you do this, you do this, you do this, you can achieve a little bit more.
You know, you move from a process of design to, you know, creation, creating the piece, the clay, the final piece in clay, doing the mold, casting the piece in bronze in the foundry, and then the installation. And yeah, that process can take anywhere from, you know, 7 or 8 months to about a year for a figure.
Well, these public works are, you know, it's a long-lasting, durable material. So you've seen over the ages where people will walk up to bronze sculptures and they'll constantly rub a nose or a knee, like with Lincoln in Illinois, and it goes all the way down to the straight bronze. All the patina and the waxes have come off because of the, you know, interaction. But nowadays in art, that's kind of come back because they want people to interact with art, with sound and light and movement. So that's all kind of shifting.
We don't necessarily want these pieces to be, you know, up on a mountain that nobody can get to. It's very much interactive. You know, Chick, the whole design with him at the desk, you know, for people to come and sit, be with him, take the photo, you know, that's the whole experience. And we hope that we can continue to work with them, you know, throughout the years. I don't want to say the wheels are in motion, but, you know, the names are certainly out there, and when the timing's right, you know, I think things will move forward.
Things that you will hear sooner or later. And I'm not eligible to talk about now, but that's the nature of our business. Until the unveiling, it's secret. And 5 minutes after, we disappeared. You just keep watching. We're already on something else. We got 5 minutes, that's good.